Hey, what's up, cats and kittens, and shout out to all my cerebral lights. It is me, the Cerebral Diva, and she's back with another episode of In the Loop. And in today's episode of In the Loop, we're actually going to listen to Tamar, in her own words, talk about all of the drama that transpired last week with her and Paperback Toya. But before we listen to Tamar, I want you guys to do yourselves a favor. Do me a favor. Take a second to hit that subscribe button, and once you've done that, take another second to hit that tiny little bell so you can turn on your alerts, and that way you will be kept in the loop so you won't miss anything. And I know you don't want to miss anything, right? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pause for a second. I'm going to let you guys listen to Tamar, and then we're going to come back and talk about exactly what she said. Just a little nugget before you listen to her. I was actually really impressed. You know, Tamar is one of those people who sort of, I have this love-hate relationship with. You know, she's funny as hell, but she's annoying as hell at the same time to me. But in this interview, I think she found that sweet spot, you know, of being sarcastic and sardonic in the way that she is, but also coming across like a grown woman. So anyhow, enough of me talking. I want you guys to hear Tamar herself.
Spats, if you will.
Was it a spat?
Was it a back and forth?
No, I don't go back and forth with anybody, not even the devil. I don't.
So there was this thing where you posted a picture of Tiny and Tia.
I did.
Okay, and you had a long paragraph
I
underneath.
did.
And certain people took exception to how they were referenced in said paragraph.
Sorry about that. I mean, you want me to? I mean, I don't know. Well, really, the whole thing came about because the day before it was Logan's birthday.
Right.
And I got tagged on a happy birthday to Logan from Tiny.
Okay.
Which is Logan's godmom.
Right.
And Tip was saying on the Instagram that me and Tiny need to stop being a diva and make up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just thought it was the sweetest gesture ever.
Right.
And so that's why I decided to, you know, send a public apology to, you know, my dearest friend, Tiny on the planet, because I felt like they made the attempt to make a public, you know,
extend an olive branch.
Yeah, an olive branch.
Okay.
So, you know, I wasn't trying to hurt anybody, definitely. I'm never trying to hurt anybody, but I just kind of wanted to state the facts that, you know, it's just been a lot of speculations that because Tiny and I had a friendship falling out, it wasn't about what people have been saying. It wasn't about that show. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't about, you know, the things that Toya was saying, because she did, you know, go on a media tour and, you know, wrote a book about how she felt like I was a horrible friend, and that was hurtful to me.
Okay.
Because that was the first time I seen it.
Right.
Which was on a radio station.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't know we wasn't friends, you know, and I never want anybody to think I'm trying to hold them back. I'm not even that kind of girl. I don't even think like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when I was on the show, she never even reached out to me and said that she wanted to be on the show. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not the talent booker. I'm the talent. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I have absolutely no power on who comes on the show. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's just how it goes. I mean, you know, come to find out, she got upset because I didn't post about her last book. But, you know, I don't have to tell you, Tigger, when you work for certain companies, they don't want you to tweet about or Instagram about certain things. Mm. And that's in your contract. You know what I mean? Right. Especially when you work for a corporation. And so you have to kind of run things by them. They didn't really dig it. And I told her what they said, right. And I guess she didn't believe me or want to go with it. But I have absolutely Toya, if you listen, baby, I have absolutely positively no reason to stop you from getting your shine on. I want you to win. I love you. I love Regine. You know, I love the whole clique. Right. I want everybody to win. You know what I mean? I have absolutely no reason to hold anybody back. I am blessed beyond measure. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, for me not to extend those blessings to my friends, which I do, you know. Right. I mean, that would be, you know, horrible for me. I'm not even that kind of person. I'm saved, sanctified, and filled with the Spirit.
You and Tiny thing get worked out?
You know, we're working on things. Okay. You know, I really don't even want to talk about it publicly because I don't think it's anyone's business. That's why I haven't talked about it. Mm-hmm. But I love Tiny. That's my sister. Right. You know, and I love all of my children.
So, in Toya's post, she made some allegations that some people seem to agree with and some people disagreed with about you being diva-ish from time to time.
Oh, that's hurtful. It is.
Is it?
I mean, I don't know. Have you ever seen me with an entourage? This is like the most people you see me with besides fans. That's not what I do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I love what I do. And it's a blessing to be able to get up and do what you love to do, right? You know, I mean, I'm acting like a diva to get what? I feel like I make a conscious choice every single day to be a good person.
Okay.
Because you can either be a good person or a bad person.
Amen.
And I make the choice to be a good person, you know? So, I don't know. I don't know where she got that from. You know, that was hurtful. You know, it's all hurtful. It was hurtful to know that it was a nice gesture that I went to her brother's funeral and that I basically economically made sure all of her friends were there. You know.
Wow.
So, I mean, that was hurtful. And it's also very hurtful to feel that your friends think a certain way about you behind your back.
Moving on.
Moving on. Moving on. And guess what? We all have grown and glowed up.
Right.
And I don't have no issues with nobody but the devil. That's it.
Okay, so we just heard Tamar in her own words. And I want to give you guys sort of a summation, a summary of some things that stood out for me in this interview. First of all, what stood out to me was just the sort of grown woman energy that Tamar was really putting out there during this interview. I really enjoyed, you know, sometimes I don't even know what to say about Tamar because she cracks me up. I cannot lie. She has me in stitches. Like every time I see her on TV, I just can't help but laugh because she is so unapologetically Tamar. I love that about her. But at the same time, when I watch her on TV, I'm like, okay, that would be cute for maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But, you know, towards that half-hour mark, it would start to grate on my nerves. But during this interview, she really came across, it's like she found that sweet spot between being Tamar, being a businesswoman, being a mother. You know, like you got to see a lot of different levels of who she is as a woman. So I really enjoyed that. Now, one of the other things that I'd noticed, and I don't know if you guys heard this, that she would not refer to the show The Real by The Real. She kept calling it That Show. So that's just one of those other things that stood out. Not that there is any surprise to that. You know, everyone knows how that relationship ended. Another thing that stood out for me was the fact that she was saying something to the fact that she couldn't talk about Toya's book or tweet about Toya's book because she couldn't get approval from corporate. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not buying into that because if corporate was watching Tamar's tweets, there's a ton of stuff that they probably wouldn't want her to say. So for whatever reason, and then maybe to Tamar's point, I could also see, you know, her sarcasm is her brand, and so maybe they're okay with her putting sarcastic things out, and maybe with her being sort of abrasive and crude, maybe that's okay for them. But at the same time, maybe when they see her promoting another brand that's making someone else money, maybe they do have an issue with that. I don't know, but you know, on the outside looking in, I can see both sides. You know, if Tamar says that that's what happened, then I don't think she really has any reason to lie about that. But I can also see why Toya might be slightly in disbelief that that's actually what the situation was. Another thing was when she was questioned about being a diva, which we all know, anyone who watches the show knows she definitely has this diva-like disposition. I don't know why she does. Just own it. Just own it. Just claim it. You know, be it. If that's who you are, just own that part of who you are. But for whatever reason, she quantified being a diva by saying she doesn't have an entourage. That is not the only criteria for being you can be a lone diva. You know, you don't need a entourage, a group of people, you know, backing your divaness. You know, if you just have that diva-like disposition, it doesn't require a bunch of people to support you in your divahood. So I don't think that she necessarily understands that if she believes that just not having an entourage doesn't make you a diva. Anyhow, overall, I thought it was a good interview. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to think, so make sure you comment below. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share if you feel so inclined. Remember to follow me across all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Remember, it's better to be pissed off than to be pissed on. And as always, remember to live better, love harder, and please think smarter. It is me, the Cerebral Diva, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day.